If there's one thing this past month has shown me time and time again, it's that the only precious moment in time is right now. What's up, everyone? My name is Morsi, and if you're new to this channel is all about creating your own reality through your spiritual awakening process. And if you find that the words in this video resonate with you, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Now, the tragic death of Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, and 7 valued lives has brought about a revelation that I have come to time and time again. And it's the value of life, the value of living. Because many of us are alive, but we are not living. And the thing is that this event has shown me that we never know when our life is going to end. We never know when the life of someone that we love, we never know when that's going to end. We never know if we'll never see someone again. But when we find ourselves dwelling in a moment that does not exist, like dwelling in a memory of the past, the story of a past, dwelling in anticipating in this idea of the future, and finding that those moments are primary to this moment, we're not living. We're just alive, and we're just hoping, but we're not here. So what does it mean to live presently? What does it mean to be here? I want you to understand these two things, because these two things were huge in what the universe has shown me this month. And one is that each and every moment is temporary. The emotion that we feel, the emotions that are part of the human experience, they are temporary. Those moments when you are down, when you're feeling hopeless, when you don't know where to go, that moment is temporary. Those moments when you are excited, when you know what to do, you're full of life, you're full of creativity, that moment too is temporary. So do not attach to any moment, good or bad, because when you attach to it, you begin to dwell in the past. When you attach to it, you begin to create the story of the future so that you're not living now, so that you avoid the present moment because you're avoiding reality. You're avoiding a challenge so that you can live in this idea that's more comforting to you. It's understanding and accepting that this moment, it's not a punishment, but it is a challenge. Right? When we're feeling like we don't want to be here, all it is a challenge for us to get through, because we're here to fulfill certain missions. We're here to fulfill a certain purpose in our lives. And the only way we're going to fulfill that is by living here now and understanding that being attached to any moment, it's not allowing us to live now, to appreciate who is around us right now, to appreciate this life, to appreciate even the process of us trying to reach our goal of living, of reaching our outer purpose. Another thing that was brought to me is that our emotions, our guides, our emotions are leading us to places, right? And so the thing is that we're constantly feeling things. Emotions are a part of the human experience, but what happens is, we as humans, we value certain emotions over others. We judge certain emotions over others. Certain cultures have a taboo over a certain emotion, depending on where you live, depending on your gender, depending on whatever it is that whatever form you're living in this lifetime, there's a certain standard that society has set on the way you should and shouldn't feel. And when you fall into that trap of not feeling a certain emotion, you're not allowing your emotions to guide you, because your emotions reveal your ideals. Your emotions reveal your principles, what you value. And so when you can understand what you value, your ideas, you begin to tap into who you truly are. Then you know how to live life in the present. Then you're not dwelling on what society is telling you how to live, right? You already know how you want to live because you tapped into your emotions. Your judgment will always go above what this external world is telling you. For me, these past couple of days this month, it was a time where I really needed to reflect. That was the energy that was all around me. It was like reflect, look back and decide, how do you want to move forward? But I was feeling this inner conflict because I didn't want to reflect. I felt like I needed to always be creating because that's what society is telling us, right? To always be productive. And I fell into that mental concept. I fell into that energy structure of saying, you are not creating. You have a lack of motivation, right? I started to label myself. You have a lack of motivation. Why aren't you creating? Why aren't you doing this? But within me, the true energy was reflect. You don't need to create right now. You need to reflect so you can come out of this and be better. And so when I sat back and I actually allowed myself to feel, what came out of this was that, you know what? I cannot find a solution to my challenges and to what's happening to me unless I sit back and reflect. If I keep doing and doing and doing, all I'm doing is making the same mistakes over and over again and not allowing myself to sit back and figure out how I can make it better for myself. Whether it be in my career, in my personal life, with my relationships with the people around me, I really needed that time to reflect, regardless of what society would say about how I feel, because many times we don't notice, we're unconscious to the pressures that are around us until you sit back and you're like, wow, this is what my emotions were guiding me to. When I allowed myself to get in touch with that, there was so much ease. That inner conflict, it went away. And while I allowed myself to feel, I began to dwell in the present moment. I was living here. When you feel your feelings, you're living in the present moment. And when you live in the present moment, whatever you need to know arises out of that, right? Like down below, if you already knew that. Like down below, if you have experienced that. Experienced allowing yourself to feel without judgment, without giving that feeling a story, and then boom, you just had a revelation about life and what you needed to do. I found that this past month, each time I had a thought that came in my head, that was something that made me feel an emotion that I knew was not serving me, that I knew was not going to get me to the place that I wanted to be, what I ended up doing was observing it. Then I corrected my perception of it to the perception that I wanted it to be. And then I matched it with the corresponding feeling. When that happened again, I did it again. I repeated it. I journaled about it, right? I journaled about it. I continued to do things and I refused to feel and think in that same old pattern because I didn't want to fall back into that. It was getting me nowhere. You know, that was that technique that I used. And I found myself evolving and changing. I found myself appreciating the moment because I noticed how reality was shaping me. So when I hear about Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and all those people who lost lives and their families who lost a piece of their heart, a piece of their family, I sat back and I was just like, life is crazy. Life is unpredictable. And sometimes we're not going to be prepared for a certain moment. Who's ever going to be prepared for things like that? The only thing that we need to do is be here now and understand what we need to do in the moment. Don't worry about what you need to do in the future. Just focus on how you live in this moment, and that is by letting yourself be. Letting yourself feel. Because the thing about death is that it does not discriminate. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter your status, your image. It is what it is. So in order to live right now, allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to feel. Right? Flow with the universe. Don't attach to this temporary moment. I asked myself, if I died today, would I be satisfied with the way that I've lived? And to be honest, about a year or so ago, I would have said no. But based on this past month, I would say yes. And because I see the difference in the way that I feel, I understand the importance of life. I understand the importance of living. I understand the importance of tapping in to who I truly am. So then you understand how to shape your reality. You understand how life is guiding you, and you understand what it really means to live in this moment. So I am sending love and I'm sending healing to the families who have experienced loss in the tragic helicopter crash that happened yesterday. And I'm sending love to you all, clarity to you all, so that you can make this moment primary within your life. My name is Morsi, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to check out these 2 videos right here, because they will also help you understand what it means to create your own reality and what it means to live right now. Until next time, peace.